The top player available is four-star offensive tackle Isaiah Garcia. You see a few edge prospects on the market, but we're going to get it rolling with the only quarterback you see on this list here. And the good news is we don't have to go far to get the intel because Blair knows it all when it comes to the West. So let's talk about him. Former Ole Miss quarterback commit Damon Williams. He is the only available quarterback in the top 20. You have him crystal balled to Arizona right now, but what's the latest with his, we'll call it round 2 recruitment?
The Elite 11 finalists is beginning to sort through possible official visits. Nothing has been scheduled yet. Nothing has been set in stone, but it does sound like Arizona will be getting one of those visits. That would be huge for the Wildcats on the heels of getting 5-star edge rusher Elijah Rushing. And, this has been, I think, matriculated. It's been, in a way, simmering for Damon Williams to potentially stay in state. Now, one school that I would keep an eye on is Oklahoma. The Sooners have made contact. I've been told that assistant coach Jeff Levy, who has some experience recruiting the West Coast and the state of Arizona in particular, have been reaching out to Damon Williams about potentially getting him on campus at some point. The interesting thing is they already have an Elite 11 finalist committed. That would be Michael Hawkins, who came off the board 4 months after Damon Williams initially made a decision to commit to Ole Miss. So that's one interesting quarterback domino to track, Emily.
Wouldn't be the first school to have 2 Elite 11 finalists. Georgia seems to be doing all right with their 2 quarterback prospects. But let's look at some Utah prospects, starting with the state's top player, 4-star offensive tackle, the aforementioned Isaiah Garcia. So USC, Utah, Oregon, and Stanford all got officials, and Stanford actually leads the crystal ball, but you seem to be undecided, Blair. Why is that?
The Cardinal did get the last official visit during the month of June, and they have some buzz, they have some momentum, but I have been told to keep an eye on Oregon and Utah. Oregon has kind of been seen as a childhood favorite school. He loved going out there and meeting with the coaching staff, Coach Terry, the new offensive line coach. Really, the transition from the offensive line coach room has been seamless for Garcia. He loves the Ducks and what they would offer him. And then Utah's the in-state program. His brother actually played for the Utes a couple years ago, and that's a short drive from campus that would give his family a chance to be able to see him every Saturday. So that's the reason I haven't put in a crystal ball prediction yet. I still feel like Utah and Oregon are right there. Stanford does have a lot of the momentum, like I mentioned earlier, but this one's interesting. This one could wind down here in the next couple of weeks. He kicks off his high school season August 11th, and I know he wants to make a decision before he kicks off the season, so that could be in a couple weeks.
That's all right. Take your time, Blair. Let's talk about the top defensive player in Utah. In Utah, Faletau Satuala took visits to both Utah and UCLA, but he's got offers from all over the country. And you actually wrote back in May that the safety may have the highest ceiling of any player in Utah this cycle. That is high praise. What's his recruitment looking like mid-July?
Our scouting guys love multi-sport athletes and players that play multiple positions and a couple different things throughout the year. He plays basketball and lacrosse. Faletau, actually, I got the chance to meet him this spring, and he was on his way to a playoff lacrosse game. So he's a super athletic, really high upside. Frame-wise, recruiting-wise, he did take his official visits in May and in June, made it out to UCLA to kick things off, then rounded things out with Utah and BYU. This sounds like an in-state battle. It's one of those classic Utah versus BYU recruiting battles. And Emily, I'm actually compelled to put in a crystal ball prediction right now for the Utah Utes. So I'm going to pull out my phone. We don't do this very often. It's a special occasion, but I think Faletau Satuala is trending to the Utes, so let me do that now and make it official. Just clicked save prediction. So I think the Utes are in a great spot there. They've been building a relationship with Faletau for such a long time, and if it does come down to those 2 in-state programs, I like the Utes.
Wow. Okay, so that's all it takes is you just pull out your phone and press the final button, and there it is.
You got to be signed in. That's the only issue,
Oh.
And usually, with the way things are with, double verification and all the passwords that you need to remember, that's basically the biggest hurdle. But that's the thing, right? Sometimes we're out on the field, we're out at a game, we're at the airport. I need to report, and it's right then and there. So I put it on my phone, crystal ball prediction, Faletau to the Utah Utes.
Wow, Faletau Satuala to Utah. Crystal ball live on the show from Blair. Love to see that. We have one more prospect to talk about. I'm not going to hold you to throwing out a crystal ball for him here live. That was enough drama already. But you got the 3-star tight end Roger Saleapaga. He took an official back in June to Baylor, has one scheduled to Tennessee this fall. He's all over the place. He's also got an offer from Alabama. So what else is on the horizon for him?
I would have zero idea where that crystal ball would be right now because Roger Saleapaga is all over the place. And that's not just his visits. I think he's getting a feel for his recruitment and really, I think, understanding what he likes and what he wants in a program. He's taken multiple visits out to Tennessee to meet up with Nico Iamaleava. He took that official visit to Baylor. He will be back at Tennessee at the end of the year. Alabama is a school that he's really interested in. Actually got a chance to work out for the Crimson Tide and that staff as he connected with Tua Tagovailoa's dad when he was out there in Alabama. He's actually a Southern California native, so he's really intrigued about UCLA as well. That's a school that his grandparents always envisioned him going to, but his recruitment has really expanded. I think the horizons have been a bit more broad in terms of the schools that he's able to go out to. So keep an eye on Oregon, Utah, which is known to develop their tight ends. That being the in-state school for him is also in the mix. I think that Tennessee is in a great spot. Baylor really impressed him, so this one could go a number of ways. This is a player who will take his recruitment down all the way, I think, to the early signing period, and this is one to track for the rest of the recruiting cycle.
All right, you can read more of Blair's work on 247sports.com, and as always, for more exclusive information, become a VIP member today.